Folks, Sunday already in May, and episode 4 for my Guiding Light podcast. Oh, sorry, I'm so nervous. And I have the amazing Toby Poser by me. I like that name. Hello, Toby. Welcome here.
Hey, Ollie. Thank you so much for having me.
You're so welcome, so welcome. You look beautiful, by the way, and so young still. You know.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome. And tell me how you feel and how you've been these days. Tell me before we start.
I feel great. Today is Mother's Day in America.
Yep.
One of my kids is home, and so I'm happy I get to be with her. And life is good.
That's amazing. And you are healthy, and all the rest of the family too, because your daughter.
Yeah, my daughter's sick, but I'm glad I get to mother her. No, I'm very good.
Best wishes for your daughter on the place.
Thank you.
I sent later a voice message for her. You can play her and send the best wishes.
Oh, thanks so much.
No problem. You know, you joined this amazing family. What you have here with my amazing art logo. Do you know Guiding Light before you join, or you not?
No, I knew of Guiding Light because sometimes I would stay home from school pretending, let's say I had a stomach ache, and I would just want to watch soap operas with my mom. And so, but she wasn't a loyal watcher. We would just kind of switch around, and no, so I wasn't super familiar, but I had auditioned a few times with the wonderful Betty Ray. And so I kind of got to know the show a little bit that way, never expecting that I would actually be invited to be part of it.
Wow. And when you joined the show, I mean, you took over a role that very iconic in the early days. And how hard was it for you to play the iconic role and make to your own? Because for me, Kathleen was of her ways, Amanda, and you in your way. Would you say that is so?
Yes, I think it was wise and healthy for me to come in without having any expectations to replace anyone.
No. Not to place.
Yeah.
You play it on your own.
Yeah. And I knew that there were differences that people had to get by, realistically age differences, and definitely, it's funny, Ollie, because the audition material, they wanted someone who looked like a model. It said specifically, very long-legged and tall and model, and I was not that. I have never been that. I have wonderful legs, but they are short and strong and stocky. And they're not a model's legs. And so going in, already I realized, oh, this is great. I can just make this character who I want her to be, because I'm never going to get the role because I'm not what they're looking for. But Betty Ray liked me and I loved her. And so she gave me the chance to come in, and fortunately, Michael Leibson, at the time running the show, he really liked theater actors, and he kind of liked that I came in and just came in with something completely wild, and it worked.
And
I was lucky.
You a theater actress, or?
Yes.
Okay.
I was on a Broadway show at the time. When I started the show, for about a month, I had to go from set to off Broadway.
Before we talk further on your role, tell me, was the first thing in your life to become an actress, or have you another wish to do that job?
Yes. I wanted to be an actress probably from the time I was 15. I think I knew.
15. Oh gosh, 15. That's incredible. Wow, 15. Wow. And then say you were being an actress. Wow. What a really important decision for your life in that age. Respect.
It's fun when I meet kids these days, young people who are starting to act. I know exactly how they feel. It's like I can feel we share a DNA, which is a love of a love of theater, a love of playfulness, because that's what acting is. It's like the greatest job in the world because you get to use your imagination and be someone else for a minute.
Wow, amazing. And then your first role in your young years was theater or something like that?
I did a lot of theater. I went to college in New Orleans, studying and majoring in, I got a Bachelor of Fine Arts in theater. I also love the other aspects of theater, like stage design. I really had a knack for, and I loved that. And then I decided after college at age 22, I'm just going to move to New York City and just see what happens. And that's what I did.
Wow. It's very simple way, by the way. Very simple, you know?
Yeah.
It's amazing. Thank you for sharing. When you took over the role, do you know what you took over? I mean, Caitlin had a great history in this soap opera and so many fans over the world.
No, I really didn't know. There was so much sort of youthful ignorance in a way, but I think that it helped me because, because I really just I came in with an energy and a willingness to join this family, but I didn't feel I didn't feel pressures to be anything other than this new Amanda. And it is a family. I mean, I've worked on so many different shoots and plays. I've never felt such a camaraderie and sense of family as Guiding Light. And not just the cast, but the crew. From the second you show up, and wonderful Al at the door. I mean, and the wonderful woman who's now her name, I'm spacing it. Oh my gosh. That was, I think, for you, but I put the time wrong, reminding myself of it. Okay. But the wonderful woman, she was Albanian, who fed us, and just everyone, you know, the cameraman, everyone in that show was so lovely, and it was the kind of thing where you just wanted to pinch yourself.
Yeah, everyone told me that. Tina said that you all a family, and all of you, Tim, that tell me that. And it is a really precious gift, really. That is a really great gift that you have. And see, Tina said to me, I saw my cameraman more as my family, and as the same cast members more my own family. And
it's true. Yeah. One of the cameramen invited me to, I was there. I didn't have any family in the city. He invited me over for Thanksgiving. It was so nice.
Wow. That is really great. Every time when I hear this is astonishing for me, because that show how big you are and was a family you was, every one of you. And Tina helped everyone, told me everyone. Tina was helpful to everyone to play and get this role, you know. So she's very helpful on set. Everyone told me.
She was so lovely. I wish I had gotten to play with her more.
That's just great. I will wrote her that because she hear this out, I'm sure. When you started with Amanda, have you the chance to create a character with two, or only the producer create a new Amanda?
Oh no, they really gave me a lot of freedom to play around with Amanda. Which I look back at and I have to smile because I was so brazen. I would just sometimes come in and I would say, I'm just going to try the line this way. And then more often than not, they would say, that's good, let's keep it. So they really let me kind of work with the directors and the writers, and the producers, of course, who were okay with it, to play around and really discover who Amanda was. Because I knew that, I think she was meant to come in with a sort of villainous energy, but I know that every villain doesn't think they're the villain. They have a reason that they do what they do. And I think I saw right away that Amanda had a great heart. And a lot of that was because I was getting to work with someone like Ross. So how could someone who loves Ross not have something redeeming inside her?
Yeah, you're right. I remember very clear on your first episode. You came in the hospital and you say what you want and get me that right now. That I remember this so clear, And I say, wow, yeah, Amanda is back, but I knew Amanda is back in a really different way before. And thank you so much. It was great entry, great introducing for you.
I was so nervous, Ollie.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
nervous
sure.
that first day. I was like,
And how was it for you to came on the set and see the cast members? What was your feeling to the famous set?
It was so, and I have to tell you a funny story too. It was so nice. Everyone was so great. I got to come in and see the people in the Spaulding family, and of course, all of them were so like the nicest people. And so immediately I couldn't, again, I had to pinch myself. If I was only nervous because it was new for me, not because they made me feel nervous at all. But here's a funny story. One of my first days on the show, it's a little bit mischievous, this story. Now, I was in my mid-20s when I came on the show, and I was a little bit of a wild thing. I was living in New York. I was living in my first apartment by myself in this nice little neighborhood, and it had a little brick fireplace, and I thought I was really cool. And I would stay out till all hours of the night and then have to show up at the show, a few hours later. And so one night, I guess I'd been out pretty late, and I just put the same clothes on I had the night before. And so I walk, which was a pair of jeans. And so we're doing the dress rehearsal in the morning, and we do that in our regular clothes. So Amanda makes this big entrance into the Spaulding living room. Mm-hmm. And next thing I know, everyone's looking down at my feet, and I look down at my feet, and my underwear had fallen out of my jeans that I'd been wearing the night before.
What a funny story.
And everyone just starts cracking up. I picked it up. I'm like, oops. And I put it in my pocket. And then I said the line and carried on. But
wow, thank you.
It's a really funny memory.
Thank you. Wow, thank you. It's very, very funny about a precious memory, of course, for you. When you play Amanda, is this if I'm wrong or if I'm right, your skin was darker back then, and you skin is now more not so darker, or is this?
I probably was tan a lot. I mean, actually, that would have been November I started, so it might have to do with the makeup. They put so much makeup on me, and I'm not wearing any, and but I also probably was tan a lot then because I was a kid and I liked the sun.
Yeah, I was really darker skin. I really remember when you.
You're right. And my hair was darker. Now, I mean, it's wet, but now I have a lot of gray in my hair. But yeah, you're right. She had a much darker look. I think they dyed my hair as well at first to be darker.
How was it to play with Jerry?
Oh, Jerry was just such a love. Like I said, he was such a class act. He was so generous. He was thinking of everyone before himself. As an actor, he was the most natural actor. There wasn't an ounce of artifice in him. So on camera or not, he just was so kind. He always listened so well. And I think that's the sign of a beautiful human, but also a talented actor, is one who really, really listens and then reacts to what they're listening to. And he was the epitome of that. He was so kind. Yeah,
I hear that really every time about Jerry. Let me tell you, he was for me a big brother. He told me as Ross to get always the right way, Ollie, not the bad side. Always here on the right side. When he was off the show, I I watched it 1 year later. I had no idea this happened before. Then I call my friend in the USA. She sent me VHS tapes so I can still watch the show. I say, you sent me episodes from 2006. Who's Jerry? Oh, sorry, I not told you that before. He's gone. What? Why? What was happening? Yeah, he's off the show. What? Why? What is happening? I don't know. Maybe producer thing or something. We don't knew at the time. Then I sit here and I was there. Oh gosh, my big brother is gone, and I was really shocked. You see, right now too. Then when I hear he died, it was really. He gave me so many advice for my life to solve my problems, and what me really angry about all the leaving this show, that he had never the chance to say goodbye to Ross, and that's so angry about it, and that was hard for me. Really, it still is, yes.
That is hard.
This was really hard. And have you heard when you off the show about Jerry? What's happened when he left the show?
I didn't hear much. I got back in touch with Liz several years ago through film work, basically. She had come to see a film of ours, and maybe because of internet, because I was finally on something like Facebook, let's say. And I kept in touch a little bit through her, and I did an interview a few years ago during the pandemic and Jerry was on that, but that was the last I had connected with him. That would have been 2020.
And when he died, haven't heard from a family or so or something?
No, I think just through Liz.
And had you the chance to say goodbye to Jerry?
No, I didn't.
Ah, that's a shame. Wow. Yeah. This was so unexpected. First he's off the show, and then he's so quickly. I don't really understand what the producer did to him. I remember one interview about Jerry. This was he leaving the show after a few months, and he say, the producers knew I'm a famous, important role for this soap opera, and I want only more money, and they'd understand that, and then kick me off, and so you cannot replace him. You cannot replace this role. You cannot replace Jerry. He is Ross, and that is what I say to you all. You not play the role. You are this role.
Yeah.
Would you say that too about you, Amanda?
I guess because I wasn't the first, I don't feel I have that right to say that. I was the final Amanda, maybe.
Yeah.
But Ross is Ross and always will be Ross.
And
Jerry is Ross.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you off the show, was planned, or would you want to go off the show?
No, that really had again to do a lot with, I think, the production team trying to figure out how to navigate Michael Zaslow's leaving. And then Dennis Parlato replaced him as Roger, which was a really hard, those were some hard shoes to fill. And Dennis is a wonderful, talented actor. And I think he's great and probably would have had a better shake under different circumstances. But as Michael Zaslow and I were working so closely on the show, and they let him go quite gracelessly, I'm just going to say, they could have. That was a great opportunity to explore with great humanity what was happening, and so I felt very connected to what was going on with Michael. And I think that was unfortunate, but another departure that was unfortunate on Guiding Light's part.
Yeah, and how you remember about Michael's when he's so sick, and about what you remember on this time?
I remember he was incredibly vulnerable and incredibly brave. I mean, how courageous to I mean, being an actor, it's already just stepping on is there's something slightly vulnerable. Um, I mean, some might argue that you're also hidden behind the armor of a different character, but you're still infusing those characters with yourself. And for Michael to be in front of so many eyes like that on television and to be going through ALS, the early stages of it, just took incredible courage. And for that, I'll get misty because I have such appreciation and admiration for him. I know it was really, really hard. And he was such a good actor.
Yeah.
And he was really fun to play with.
Fantastic, yeah.
He was so good. And he carried so much weight of the show of his character. You talk about like villains.
Yeah.
He was often maligned, on the characters like Roger Thorpe. But he also, I think, had a great heart and a great love that he always made sure that he infused his iterations of Roger at whatever moment in time with a great sort of passion that you could really see underneath him.
Oh yeah, Roger. Wow. Every storyline with him. Wow. When I look back in the 70s when he came on the show, and what amazing, astonishing stories he played, and he's a nice guy in a real life, but on the show he's a really bad person, and wow. That is, and I say that too. You have the show on your shoulder, every one of you, not only the producer. You guys have the world from Guiding Light on your shoulders in all these years, and that is thing I believe that. So, and Liz told me when she about Michael, he had no voice anymore, and he put on a table to speak, and stage was so heartbreaking to see when he wrote, I can only the voice, to speak, and wow, really, and we all love your Roger so much. I have so many fans I read about Roger, and back then we had no internet or something. These days is all better, and when we heard when an actor died or was leaving the show later years, I had a luck to have a friend that sent me US tips, so give me a little info about it, so I really appreciate that. And all the VHS tapes I watched it to the end of the show. It's a so big archive from VHS tapes, I have all on digital, but not all. 2006, I'm on it, so I need 4 years to get digital, but it's fun. It's fun really to do. And it is great, I have the chance to pick on a computer the episodes to remove the commercial between. I can make the really episode, put in a sense, and that's
that's cool.
Yeah, that is really amazing. That's really cool. And when you play Amanda with the storyline, what is the best thing what you remember on the storyline what you played?
Probably any chance I got to work with Liz, who played Blake, and Alexandra, Marge, to say they were just so much fun. I mean, and the writers really hooked us up with some great material. The lines were always so snappy. So I loved, in terms of people I actually got to play with, I loved playing with them. Absolutely. And I learned so much from both of them. I mean, Marge, I especially learned about she just had such grace. And I remember when we were down in Florida at Universal Studios to shoot there, and I was pretty new to the show still, and I'd never kind of come across fans, and I just saw how she dealt with them, and she was so kind. And I was a little embarrassed and nervous because I didn't know what to do. I was 26, I don't know. And I'm like, what's going on? And I just learned so much from her. And but working with her, once the cameras were rolling, she just was a blast. And then Liz, you really could just literally get down and dirty with. I mean, it was the whether it was pies in the face or, she was the best. And also off camera, I really felt like Liz was a sister to me. She was there for me in ways that I really am grateful for.
So come on, to tell some words. You have the chance to tell some words to Liz.
Liz, hi. I love you. I'm talking about you. Are your ears itching? Are they burning? Because we're talking about you a lot.
So thank you. I'm sure she was really happy about it. And you play a really great storyline to reintroduce this character and to interact with the new people and old people on the show. And have you seen some material before or read you some before the first Amanda, before you created?
No.
No.
I didn't.
Without material before. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay. And I think that's was the right way to do it.
Well, also it was 1995 when I joined the show, so that means it's not like I would have had to have gone in, to at the studio to ask for the footage to watch. It's not like I could just hop on the computer and see things.
Mm-hmm. And when Beverly McKenzie left the show, Tina told me she tell every one of you, guys, this off is my last show. I'm gone tomorrow. And I'll say, what? Have you remembered it?
No. Mm-mm. I know our last day was just pretty. It wasn't a very interesting ending for Amanda and Roger. They just kind of sent us off to get married, and it was Dennis Parlato was acting Roger then, and it was pretty just inconsequential. It was just like, oh, we're done.
Yeah. And Beverly, when she go out, and you can read so much about you leave from the show, and so many people say she hate this role. I had never that feeling she hated Alexandra Spaulding. She loved Alexandra Spaulding. And no one tell me the opposite, Is this for you too? She loved Alexandra Spaulding to play, right?
Marge?
You Beverly, she loved to play Alexandra, not hate her, Would you say that too? She loved it to play on the show?
I guess I don't know. I just know I think Marge really loved playing Alexandra, and I really loved playing with her.
Yeah. You have all a different story, and it's good. That is good thing that you all have a different background story, I think. And when this recast from Roger came in, how you feel to see a recast from a so famous role?
I guess I really felt for the new actor Dennis, who was, as I said, a really talented actor. Those were just hard shoes to fill, and I think I felt like it was probably going to be hard for the fans to accept another Roger that they'd known for so long.
Oh yeah.
But he sure did a great job. I guess I probably knew my storyline was doomed.
Yeah, I would say, it was so well, and so half, you was good and bad. I would say that, that was for me the feeling. When you came back and play Amanda half, on a half side you was good, on a half you were bad. That's my opinion. And, and let me know how mean the character for me. So first Amanda, she was only a sister for me, She took me so long, over so many different people and different problems in my life, And when you came, You became my stepmother. Really, you became my stepmother, because you was so strict as Amanda, and and you watch over me, and you tell me like, don't mess up, Ollie. I'm behind you, and I see you, and that was really helpful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you have so much passion, so much love for this show, for this character, and I feel that too. And what? Tell me the fan reaction about you playing Amanda.
Sometimes I would run into a fan who would get very angry with me because I one time on the subway, this woman accosted me and she said, "You have to leave Ross alone. He belongs to Blake. Leave him alone." I was like, "Hey, I just got off the job. I'm just me now, but I'll try to tell the writers."
And good feedback too, I hope.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I was only on the show for 2.5 years. I don't have the, I'm not a rock in the foundation as other actors are, and I really acknowledge that and I respect that, and I'm glad that I was just a small thread in the fabric that was the wonderful guiding light. So I really kind of take everything just with the positive appreciation.
Became you fan letter in the time or after Guiding Light?
Did I become a fan after?
Fan letters, I mean. Became
Oh,
you
fan letter. Yes, I got fan letters, yeah.
In the time in the show or when you leave the show?
Really only on the time of the show. If it was after the show, I didn't receive them.
Yeah, but for me, I wrote you after the show, so that's that means something too,
Oh, good. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess with and now I'm trying to be on social media a little bit, but I'm still terrible at it. I sometimes hear from people.
And is good feedback always or bad feedback? Is mixed?
Oh, it's always positive.
Okay.
I think people are really kind of kinder than not. And so the ones who kind of reach out tend to just tell you something nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, when you leave the show, 1 year later, I have the episodes on file as tape. I remember was the same with Jerry and say, who's my stepmother? She's gone. She's back. What's happening here? And my friend called me, and you want to talk to me? Yeah. Tell me, who's Amanda? Oh, she already left the show. And you tell me that now? And I say to my friend, you knew how important she's for me. But I'll tell you what time. And then, I was really sad that you leave it. Really, I miss you on that show. You're so welcome. Really, you're so welcome. And have you missed the show when you leave it?
I did miss it. It's funny though, when I left the show, I was actually pregnant and so I was very early in my pregnancy, and so I just then suddenly had something else to focus on, becoming a mother, and I soon after I really got into, I had a really fine voiceover career, and that really started after the show. So I focused on being a mom and being able to make a living as a voiceover artist. And there were some hard times too. When I was a young mom, I also wasn't getting work for a while, and so I had to go back to waiting tables in a restaurant, which was at the moment I thought it was really humbling, but now I look back on it and I'm like, I'm so grateful for it. I enjoyed showing up at my friend's restaurant, and they gave me this job. I really needed it. Excuse me.
No problem. Drink something, please. Drink something, please.
It was a good time. It's just all the little corners of life, because life never goes straight. There are lots of corners as it bends.
That's true.
I appreciate. So when I was done, I just I stepped into a new life, and it's only continued to be great.
And yeah, and when you have a kid, it's really hard to find a job in that position, right?
For a while it was, and then I got, I mean, the voiceovers were really great. That was a really, so for a while I stopped acting because I was just kind of just doing voice work. And then eventually when I hit 40, I really missed acting and it was hard to get work. And that's when I became a filmmaker. I decided to start making my own films with my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so my husband and 2 daughters then and I started making films in 2010, and we've been doing that since then, and that's how I make my living now. Still acting.
Yeah.
But I'm also directing and writing and producing.
Yeah, I'm glad that you find this new way to give you life new meaning and new meaning, you know. I'm so proud of you.
Thank
Really.
you, Ollie.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because I read your website and what your projects on it, it's really amazing what you do, and see the story post on your film, what you made, or you post something from. It's amazing. Wow, is this for you to like the same passion, direction like an actress?
It's so cool. I mean, that's why I was just in Germany, not far from you.
Yeah.
Now I know now. I was there for a women's film festival, and it was so meeting all these filmmakers from around the world, women who are making films it's been really cool. It's been a wonderful thing. So I still love acting, but I'm equally focused on making cool films.
When you leave the show, I hope you had a chance to say Jerry goodbye on that point, or had you no chance to say him goodbye?
You know what? I recall being able to give him a wonderful hug.
Ah, that's more beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you can do that. You know, I really wish I meet him in his lifetime. You know, I really regret that I never meet him. But when you all told me about him, it's saying like, he's very close to me and all, and I really miss my big brother. You know.
I'm sure.
And Liz, remember me? He came as a villain to Guiding Light before he became a good person. I really forget that, you know. Can you imagine that?
I can't.
I really forget that. She told me in an interview, you know, he was first in a villain before he became a good guy. I say, yes, you're right. That's true. I really forgot that, you know.
He must have been great because
yeah.
It's always the really nice people who play great villains.
Absolutely. And you joined in this time when Kim Simmer came back, and she have a great reintroducing. You know, I tell you before we talk about, I tell you my view. When she off the show in this famous scene with this car, I never expect she came back. I say to me back then, when she left first time the show, Riva is that she came never back, you know. That was my feeling. And I never expect some great reintroducing of his character. I mean, wow, she became such a great reintroducing. First clone story, and then she's in this little town called Gaussian, I remember, and Alan flight to her, and you know, oh God, how was you remember on Kim?
Oh my God, I loved Kim. I wish I could have had more scenes with her. I only had a few. And whenever I did, it was just like you could feel the electricity in the room because she's just such a wonderful presence and a wonderful person. She and Liz were really, when we weren't on camera, just behind the scenes in our dressing rooms, they were really confidants for me. I mean, they were the first people I talked to when I learned I was pregnant. I'm a married pregnant girl, and it's like, what am I going to do? And I first told they're the only people I told, and they gave me such great advice. Kim was just such a fun person.
Oh yeah.
I mean, so talented, but it's hard to also, same with Liz. You have to just say just what a wonderful human she was in general. You know, she's got a great heart, and she's funny, and she's mischievous and a little wicked, and yeah,
Wow.
she's just great. I would have died to have had more scenes with her because she was
I believed it
coolest.
immediately. Yeah, I believed it immediately, you know. And I tell you, my memory, when she came back on the show, first she was the clone storyline. Tina tell me the clone storyline for all was crazy to play for the cast. And then you see Willie and Gaussian and Alan run to her. And then he take the thing I believe she just had something, and touch her face. I want to see it myself, say Alan and Ron Reigns. And then she remember who she was in the Springfield story, in Germany, Springfield story. I mean, Guiding Light, and then they have a fight scene out there. No, I'm not going to Springfield. I'm not this person anymore. Go off, you know. And she's really changed. She was not the same Reva before, you know. And then she heard her ex-husband get married Annie, and she said, "Oh, I want to see my children." And Alan said, "Yeah, it's not possible, Reva. We cannot do that." And she walked to Springfield, and I remember Maureen brought a tape on this wedding to show everyone Reva is alive, and no one believed this. And then on the plane, I tell you this scene because this was so great playing from Robert and Kim, and Reva and Alan was on the plane level in the plane, you know, and then Robert came as Josh, and he stared like that, you know, and then you know, it touched his face, and it's really you. Yeah, but it's me. Oh God, my heart beating. Oh no. And you know, wow, God, you know, that was really high level, you know. That was really great. I never, you know, I told you this before, I never expect Kim came back, but I think the producers knew they need Kim from the show, you know. I believe that really. And have you still watched it, Guiding Light, when you leave the show, or not?
I really didn't. I don't think I had a television.
Okay, yeah.
I still don't have a television, so no, I didn't.
Okay. And when it ended in 2009, do you remember when you first heard about it, or you didn't know the show ended?
I heard about it. I might have heard from Grant Alexander.
Yeah.
He and I actually went to the same school,
Okay.
which was interesting because when I was growing up in school, especially when I knew I wanted to be an actor around 15, I had always heard about Grant Alexander, you know, who I think was 10 years older than I am, but I'd always heard about him. And then there I was playing his big sister. It was pretty funny. He's a great guy. So I think I might have heard from him.
And how you feel when you hear the show's end? Have you a sad feeling or something?
You know, I didn't see it. I just I guess I just felt for everyone who'd really been in it for a long time.
Yeah, Crystal, by the way, she told me she played later in a role in this. We all shocked, you know. The last scene was filmed, and we all shocked, you know. And we realize this no more, and we are no more, you know. And you know, the last episode was the characters came out from Springfield, go to a park, something, and you know they say goodbye or another way, you know. And the series and soap opera ends with Kim and Robert, and they ride in the car and ride away, and then the end, you know. For me, I can accept that now. But, I have always imagined when the show ended with a great earthquake. I mean, this was a worthy ending to the show. Springfield get an earthquake and all those people, that was my imagine from the real ending. So, but now I now can accept that. And I remember, Kim, see a little behind scene material in later years, and Kim was filming on the last scene, and then so many actors like a mountain on there, and she screamed to the people, "Thank you, Guiding Light, you gave me the best years of my life." I loved it, I watched it every time,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was beautiful, And Tina said to me, this was shocking for all of us, Ollie, we not expect that because 3 years before I think we off the show, but it's really happening. And yeah, and I must say I really miss this. I miss this, all of you, Tina, Denise, all of you, really all of you. You're my family, all of you. And that is what the part that I'm most, because you are all teacher for me. You show me to solve my problems in life, my worries or my situation, and that all you teach me, even you, and thank you.
Well, thank you, Ollie. We couldn't do it if we didn't feel the love back. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is for me a really great gift today when I look back that all of you was teacher for me for the real life, and that is so. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh God. Oh God. Sorry.
The ghost in the machine.
We made this so. I can show you some.
Oh, neat.
This is
Springfield story.
Yeah, this is in German, and RTLplus was this broadcast was showed the Guiding Light for 13 years, and they.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, that was this is the free one. I can look with you. So, who wrote this? Mary Ann Cooper. She wrote this book. Yeah, Mary Ann Cooper, one of the producers of the show. And let me take a look. Oh yeah, this is from the early years. Yeah, it's birds and cedar salt. Yeah. But it's a precious gift, So, tell me, when you find a new way to make new things in your life, directing and so, how you feel to bring so much new joy in your life with that? Tell me.
Well, it's really wonderful. It's a little unusual because we are a family who actually does this together. And so my kids have been doing it since they were 6 and 11. Mm-hmm. And so especially the younger one, Zelda, has really grown up kind of making films. She's now 20 and Lulu's 20. My older girl is 25. And when we get Lulu, we love to have her, but she's a world wanderer, so we don't always get her. It's wonderful. It's really cool to make art, to be creative with those you love, because you're living while you're creating. So it's this wonderful sort of duality that we get to make films at the same time we're enjoying meals together or traveling. Once you finish the film, then you get to travel with the film, and that's what's taken me around the world. Our films have, and if we're lucky, we get to do it all together. So it brings me great joy. I'm about to start something new. So
it was astonishing. It's astonishing, really. And you post last day so great photos from convention and people. Thank you for sharing that. I'm so happy to see you. So happy, I posted, I believe, on that photo. So I'm glad to see you so happy,
Well, these conventions are a wonderful collision of the fans and the filmmakers or the actors or the writers, and it's so much fun to be able to talk to them and hear what they love about what you're doing, and then you get to learn about what they're doing. So many wonderful people in the world, and that the con really reminds you of that.
Before I came to my last two questions, I have a task for you. You can ask me on the end 10 years about my podcast. You can ask me a question about my 10 years, or you can, something reads or something. You can think about it.
Okay.
I sent you a signal when we're on that point. And when you first time directing and all, how was you feeling to make a movie or something?
It was really exciting. This was in 2010. And although I'd been on sets and my husband had done some commercials and he was really good. He's a good artist, so it was natural for him to pick up the camera. We still didn't know what we were doing, and it's an example of ignorance is bliss, because kind of like going in to play Amanda, the less you know, the better, because you're just going in fresh and you're using your intuition. And that's what it was like to begin making films. But we've never lost that curiosity or that awareness that we're learning every time we do it. Because when you have that excitement and curiosity, you're going to do an okay job at minimum. Hopefully you do a great job. But that means you're enjoying the process and you're not weighed down by the difficulties. Instead, you're focusing on the wonderful creativity, the energy of making something new and exciting and watching it unfold in front of you. So it's really wonderful.
And on your first project, you say to me, I pushed really hard on this to make this right, to make this perfect like that?
No, I think we didn't want to make something perfect. We just wanted to make something with great heart. And I think if you do that, then you're already halfway there, because anyone can make something that someone else has made. The point is to make something that's original to you.
And tell me about the directing. You wrote the script too, or you made only directing?
We all write. We all contribute to the writing and directing, and then we act in the films as well. I really like writing, but we all have our strengths. We shoot as well. We do everything. Like, we run the camera. My husband edits and he writes the music, and we have a band. And so we sing in the band and make the music for the movies. It's all very organic. And I love every position. I'm happy. I'm happy that help is always good, no matter where it comes from.
Yeah.
Sneeze.
Good, healthy.
Gesundheit.
Ja, Gesundheit, ja.
Gute Nacht.
Guten Abend. Guten Abend.
Yes, guten Abend.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Dog.